Coming up in court today.
Is that the clients of my tenants tell my tenants every day that this man makes it very difficult for them to pass him by without being encountered by him.
In the court system, justice is not always just. That's why they bring their disputes here. Real people, real problems, real justice. Justice is eye for an eye.
Plaintiff is suing for medical bills after defendant injured him with a coffee mug. Defendant is countersuing because he blames the plaintiff for lost tenants.
My name is T-Bone Craven, and I'm here today to sue a mean old man, Mr. Merriweather, for $2,100. He threw a hot cup of coffee on me, and then he followed it with the mug. Look at that scar.
My name is Louis Merriweather, and I'm here in court today to challenge the system to regress my demands. I have been ruined by this homeless man who has camped every day for the last 3 months in front of my business.
All rise!
Thank you. Thank you. All right, your name's T-Bone. Is that
T-Bone,
correct?
yes, sir.
T what?
T-Bone.
T-Bone. Okay, T-Bone Craven. You are bringing a case against Louis Merriweather. Is that you, correct?
That's correct, Your
And
Honor.
you are suing him for $2,100 for medical bills?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are countersuing, saying that you want him removed from the front of your building permanently, and that you want to be reimbursed for your tenant leaving. Is that correct, because of him?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Tell me about your case, Mr. Craven.
First thing, I'd like to apologize for my appearance, Your Honor.
Okay,
I wore my best. I am a homeless person. Was a hard-working man until I lost my job, and I fell into hard times. And
what did you do?
I was in construction.
Okay. And how long have you been out of a job?
For about 2 years now, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're living at the homeless shelter?
Yes, I stay at the homeless shelter when I can get there early enough and they have beds open. I stay there. Otherwise, I sleep where I can.
Why during the day do you not sleep at the homeless shelter? Do they make you leave during the day?
Yeah, you have to leave in the morning and you can't come back to a certain time. And sometimes if you get there too late, all the beds are filled and they turn you away.
Okay, and why do you pick this man's office building to sit?
The reason I pick his office building is there's a high overhang on it and it protects me from the rain and from the sun. And I only sit there. I look for a job during the daytime, Your Honor, and when I get tired, I go and sit in front of his building.
Right. All right. He says that he stays in front of your building. Does that bother you?
That's correct,
Okay,
Your Honor.
why is that?
First of all, Your Honor, he gets there early in the day. I don't know when he looks for a job, but every time I come into that building,
Do you
or
look
go
for a
out
job
of
before
that
you
building.
get to this place?
Yes, I do, and he's lying, Your Honor. I don't get there early in the morning.
What time do you get there?
I get there probably about 2 o'clock.
Okay, he says he gets there too.
Not true, Your Honor.
All right, what do you say?
I say that he gets there sometimes, but sometimes as early as 9 o'clock and almost never after noon, as far as I can tell.
Okay, and what happens?
Well,
He sets up shop there.
Do you set up shop or you just sit there?
he's lying, Your Honor. I only sit there when I'm tired.
Okay.
And I just put a little blanket down and sit on it. That's it. I don't
Do you talk
beg
to people?
for money. I don't talk to anybody. I just sit there and rest.
Okay.
I'm a veteran, Your Honor. I was in the war, and I worked hard. I served my country. And this is just a mean old man. He's just mean. He's so mean his children don't even like him.
He says that he's not bothering anybody. He's just sitting there and needs a place to go because they kick him out of the homeless shelter for the day. What do you got to say?
All I can say, Your Honor, is that the clients of my tenants tell my tenants every day that this man makes it very difficult for them to pass him by without being encountered by him and being worked over for money.
Your Honor, he's lying. I never asked anyone for money.
Well, tell me about, you're suing for $2,100 in medical bills. Tell me about that.
One day, He's after me all the time to leave. At first, I didn't know who he was. I just thought he was a mean old man that didn't like homeless people.
Right.
He's always after me, move, get on, move along, go somewhere else and sit.
But you own the building. You own the building.
Pardon?
You own the building.
I certainly do, Your Honor. My life savings are invested in that building.
This day, he comes up to me, tells me to move. When I don't move, he throws a hot cup of coffee on me.
Okay.
And then, behind the coffee comes the mug. Cracked me right in the head, Your Honor.
Okay, and give Big Sugar Ray the medical bills. He says you burnt him with coffee. He's got the scar on his head, and obviously he does have a scar on his head. And he had $2,100 worth of medical bills from you throwing the coffee on him.
I'll have this scar forever, Your Honor.
Okay. What do you got to say about that, sir?
Your Honor, it's obvious he has a scar on your head, as you pointed out. It's also true that hot coffee spilled on him.
Okay, did you throw the hot coffee on?
It is absolutely not true that I threw it, Your Honor. Okay. He lurched in my direction,
Your Honor,
knocked me off balance. Knocked me off balance. I spilled the coffee on him, and the mug flew out of my hand and hit him in the head.
Okay. So what did you got there?
I have the lease application for one of my tenants who has walked away from this lease.
Okay, so he's
a mean old man. That's why the tenant
How
left.
many months had that tenant been at your place?
He's been here for 3 months.
3 months, and now he's left. You're saying because of him?
Because of him entirely.
Okay,
no
Big
other
Sugar Ray,
complaint.
hand me that too. That's the only reason he's left?
No other complaints, Your Honor.
Is that what you're saying? He told you he left because of the homeless?
He told me that.
Okay. He says
he's lying, Your Honor.
Okay.
He left because he's so mean. He's
Okay.
mean to his tenants. He's mean to everybody.
Have you ever harassed anybody or asked anybody for money?
No, Your Honor. I've never asked anybody for money.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I'll be sitting there, somebody will come along, they can see that I'm in need, and they give me a couple of dollars, and thank God for them.
Right, right. Okay. All right, well, I know what's going on here. I'll be back in a second. Thank you. He even threatened to sue you because of this man, that that's the reason he left, the only reason. So you've got his cell phone number on here, so we're going to call him.
He's after me all the time to leave. At first, I didn't know who he was. I just thought he was a mean old man that didn't like homeless people.
Right.
He's always after me, move, get on, move along, go somewhere else and sit.
But you own the building. You own the building.
Yes, my question is, if you have a binding lease from this person or office that you were in your building, did you charge this person for the remainder of that lease and get paid for that?
This person has threatened to sue me, to countersue me if I sue him for that money, because he claims that this man has interrupted his business and has cost him money.
I see. Thank you very much.
All rise!
All right, thank you. All right, sir, I got, Mr. Merriweather, I've got the lease application that you submitted. It's for Mr. Alan Jones. Now, you've alleged that he left only because of this man, that he even threatened to sue you because of this man, that that's the reason he left, the only reason. So you've got his cell phone number on here, so we're going to call him and see if we can get him. Hello?
Jones Investments.
Hello? Yes, is Alan Jones there?
This is Alan.
Hey, Mr. Jones, this is Extreme Akim from the TV show Eye for an Eye. How are you today?
How are you doing? I watch your show.
All right, good. Well, thank you. Listen, I am calling you about, we have in my court today Louis Merriweather. Do you remember him? He says he was the owner of the office building you worked at.
Yes, unfortunately, I did have his acquaintance several months ago.
Why do you say unfortunately?
Well, the reason I no longer rent from him because, frankly, he's not a nice person.
Is that the only reason you don't rent from him?
He's just mean, and the building was not in good condition, and I just could not have my clients come to such a place.
Right. Now, do you remember a man, he might have been wearing an army jacket that would sit
He did.
Oh, you know him, okay.
He got caught sometimes.
Yeah, what can you tell me about him?
Oh, he's a nice man.
Really? Did he ever bother anybody when they were going into the office building?
Oh, on the contrary, he just say hello, real nice man, made you feel welcome.
Did
I learn a lot from him.
Did he ever ask you for money or harass you?
No, I give him money sometimes because, you know, he's a veteran and needs it.
Okay, did any of the other tenants ever complain about Mr. Craven? T-Bud.
No, he did been nice to everybody.
He was? Okay. And so did you ever threaten to sue Mr. Merriweather because of Mr. Craven?
No, I threatened to sue Mr. Merriweather for having this crappy building and making me have to leave and embarrassing my clients when they go to the bathroom and they can't use it.
What about the, do you know anything about the incident where Mr. Craven was burnt with coffee? Did you see anything?
I didn't see it, but the magazine man across the street told me he saw the whole thing. And apparently Mr. Merriweather, one day he started kicking him and telling him to move, and when he wouldn't move fast enough, he threw his coffee on him.
All right. All right, Mr. Jones. Well, listen, I really appreciate it, and we have your permission to use this call on TV, right?
Absolutely. You're doing a good show.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Mr. Merriweather, you have come in here and completely lied. Evidently, this man hasn't harassed anybody. People like him. You are using this as an excuse to get rid of him, basically because you just don't like people like him. You need to learn that, sometimes people are hard up on their luck. Sometimes things don't go well. And if they're not harassing people, and I can understand people getting concerned when they're harassing, but if someone's not harassing them, you ought to treat them with compassion, just like you expect to be treated. And you need to learn that lesson, Mr. Merriweather. And so, Big Sugar Ray, we're going to have to teach them a lesson. I want Mr. Merriweather to know what Mr. Craven's life is like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make Mr. Merriweather, he's going to sleep at your homeless shelter tonight. Okay? We're going to take him.
Your Honor, I object.
We're going to take him down there and he's going to spend the whole night at this homeless shelter, okay? And Mr. Craven, what we're going to do for you is we're going to put you up in a 5-star hotel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we're going to charge it on Mr. Merriweather's credit card.
That's even better.
You can have room service. You can have a massage. You can have anything you want. I want you to have the night of your life, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Big Sugar Ray, take them on out. Let them have some fun. All right, bring in the next case.
I made, Your Honor, was these people are amateurs. They hired people who don't even know how to use a computer to look information up on the internet to get information about that.
Okay, let me ask you.
Actually, we went straight to the sources from people who actually.
Plaintiff is suing for the value of a rare stolen coin and wants his insurance company to pay. Defendant claims they cannot find any information on such coin and they already paid him half the money.
All right, you're Mr. Fred Scott?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you are suing the defendant, Cleveland Nichols, who is an insurance adjuster or agent? Are you an insurance adjuster?
One of the reps, sir.
Okay, one of the reps. And you are suing him for additional $5,000 for the appraisal of your coin, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
He's already paid you $5,000, but you want him to pay you another $5,000,
That
correct?
is correct.
Okay, tell me about your case.
My car was broken into.
Sir, we already paid you for those.
I know. Hey, sir,
anyway.
sir, you want to be held in contempt of court? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I hate it when the little people get a speaking part. My car was broken into. I had a guitar, a Rickenbacker bass guitar worth $1,200, which they paid $800 of, and I'll settle with that. It was beat up a little. That's not a problem. But I had a rare coin. It was a World War I commemorative. 1918. Only 200 of them were ever minted. It was solid gold.
And it was minted in 1918?
That is correct, on Armistice Day.
Okay.
All right. And it was stolen. I got him all the documentation he needed to show what the coin was worth, and they gave me half of what the coin was worth. I just want the additional half so I can try to get another coin.
Okay. Do you have an appraisal for the coin?
Yes, sir. I have an appraisal here as well as a photo of the coin.
Okay. What's the appraisal for?
The appraisal is for $10,000 for this coin.
Well, hand that to Big Sugar Ray. Big Sugar Ray, can you hand it to me? Sir, he says, and you had his insurance did cover this, correct?
Well,
I mean,
yes.
wait, first of all, answer me. Does it cover items in his car if they're stolen?
Sir, yes, it does.
Okay. And would have covered this coin?
If the coin...
If it was stolen out of his car, would it cover it? It's an easy yes or no answer.
Well, it's more complicated.
No, it's not. If an item's in the car and is stolen, is it covered?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And his coin was in the car, right?
Allegedly.
Okay. Well, you paid him $5,000, right? Now, why haven't you paid him the full appraisal?
So the reason why we haven't paid him the full appraisal is because of the fact that when our actuaries looked up his so-called information, they found no evidence that even supported what he said. As it is, we can't pay him more than that right there, although he did pay the premiums, which is the reason why we gave him $5,000.
The biggest mistake I made, Your Honor, was these people are amateurs. They hired people who don't even know how to use a computer to look information up on the internet to get information about that.
Okay, let me ask you.
Actually, we went straight to the sources from people who actually collect the coins themselves. And if he'd known that,
there's
he
a
would
difference
obviously
between people
realize
collecting wheat cents and collecting rare coins. There's a difference.
Okay,
you can go to
sir, let me ask you something. Mr. Nichols, you don't need to say one other word. Sir? Sir? That coin's a fake.
So the reason why we haven't paid him the full appraisal is because of the fact that when our actuaries looked up his so-called information, they found no evidence that even supported what he said. As it is, we can't pay him more than that right there, although he did pay the premiums.
Tell me about this coin. How long have you had it for?
I've had the coin for approximately 10 years. Okay. It was willed to me by my grandfather.
Okay, so this is a picture of the coin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, on it, it has the stamp of 1918.
Yes, sir.
And it says World War I on it, correct?
Correct.
So you're saying that this coin was minted in 1918.
Yes.
It says World War I on it. And,
correct.
And what are you saying about the coin?
It's a commemorative coin.
Okay, where did you get this appraisal?
I got it from the people that I always buy my coins from. I have bought in thousands of dollars worth of coins from these people over the past 10 years. They've given me the appraisal for this. Prior to my getting insurance, I had to give them an appraisal before they would cover it because it was an excessive amount of money for one particular object. And they accepted that appraisal at that time.
You don't need to say one other word. Sir? Sir? That coin's a fake.
No, sir.
That coin is a complete fake.
Sir, you probably don't know the difference between a wheat cent and a nickel. You don't know anything about coins, do you?
You're going to be quiet, and I'm going to tell you why that coin is a fake.
Listen to the man.
In 1918, they wouldn't have written on the coin World War I. They wouldn't have known there was going to be a World War II. Why would they write World War I?
Because they read Nostradamus. Everybody knows this.
There is no way they would issue a World War I coin in 1980. Case is dismissed, and you idiots, you should have known that. You paid them $5,000 for nothing. Case dismissed. Out of here. Today's second case dealt with insurance claims. In making insurance claims, make sure you have proper documentation. If you have true, proper documentation that they don't pay, then you can sue them for bad faith. But if you give them fraudulent documentation, they can have you arrested. So, if you've been a victim of anything, don't get revenge, bring it to my court. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.